Hey, how you guys doing? It's Producer and Brothers Comics. Welcome to What We Missed in Wrestling, our recap podcast from pay-per-views from long ago when we had stopped watching professional wrestling. Tonight it is Starcade, How the Mighty Have Fallen, 1990, The New Revolution. On the line currently, it's Magnum PV. What's happening, man?
It's possible I prepared for the wrong podcast, sir, because I'm pretty
Wait,
sure this
what?
is the Great American Bash
Great
1990, is it
American
not?
Bash. Oh my God, I even named it wrong on this thing. Jeez Louise. Yeah,
We're
Starcade
gonna be
hadn't
making
it's fallen off
motion
completely.
pictures, baby. After Great American
Yeah,
Bash with David
exactly.
Allen Coe, a bunch of other redneck performers nobody ever wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh, make me laugh. All right. So yes, it's the Great American Bash 1990. Again, as you kind of alluded to in that introduction there. The Great American Bash, when they first did it, was this huge thing that we were wanting to, watch or see or heard about because it had the war games in it. Oh, Hutch is here. Let's pull him in. Hopefully you can hear
Hello.
because we're already recording.
Sure, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
perfect. All right. So we're recapping the Great American Bash, even though I have the title wrong here on StreamYard. It'll be the last time, StreamYard, a whole nother conversation. So yeah, like the Great American Bash was like this huge thing. They had what I remember mostly about it was Flair defending the title for 28 days or 30 days, like he defended it every night, and everybody that was in the Federation. Hell, Robert Gibson got a title shot at the Great American Bash, and you knew he wasn't winning. So I mean, yeah, that's what I remember about it, and of course, War Games. How do you remember anything about the Great American Bash?
Yeah, I remember I remember Ric Flair doing his thing, and yes, losing at the end or damn near.
War
Did he
Games
lose
was
at the
not part
end?
of Great American Bash, was it? So Dusty beat him somewhere along the line in the first. In the month-long Great American Bash, Dusty got the title. I don't know if he
Okay.
lost it back before the end or whatever. But I thought
Mm,
War Games was different. I thought that was separate.
okay. I mean, I know you can't check your
Yeah, I can't do anything
Wikipedia
StreamYard.
because of StreamYard. Fuck you, StreamYard.
You can't.
Yeah,
Bandwidth hog.
yeah. StreamYard is it's the worst. So tonight will be the last StreamYard performance. Anyway, so let's set the show. I'm gonna talk about the Great American Bash here. There were 11 total matches, or maybe 11 total matches with one dark match. Our Wikipedia facts. July 7th, 1990, Baltimore, Maryland, at the Baltimore Arena. Now, Magnum BB, is the Baltimore Arena still alive or around, or has
I
it been
think it,
demolished?
unless I don't know if it's something completely different, but I think this is the Royal Farms Arena that's now been called something else. So I
Okay.
think it is, unless it's something that I'm just something completely different. I don't know. I'm not
The
a big
questions that always
historian,
need to be asked.
not a
Yeah,
big
question.
Mid Atlantic historian, gotta say.
Yeah. The big question that needs to be asked whenever there's a downtown arena: how safe is it?
uh, it's all right. It's not too far away from the inner harbor, which is like
Mm,
that's the protected area. That's the tourist protected area. And it's
okay.
not that far off. It's right on the rail line. So
Mm,
it's all right, but
yeah.
don't take a wrong turn on the way out.
Yes, were scenes of the Wire filmed there should be the conversation. All right.
Yeah, no,
So
I don't think so. Unless I think there's some sort of government building right there, so possibly, but yeah.
mm, all right. 14,000 people in attendance. Again, it's the New Revolution. On the intro for that, they had like some painted figures of American history figures, but with the wrestlers' faces painted on them, which I thought was kind of funny. And I will say, before this gets started, the production value finally better. It still sucks compared to the WWF at the time, but yeah, a lot better than the previous podcast. So July of 1990, Hutch, where you at, man?
Probably out in the fields doing push-ups and sit-ups.
Oh, yeah, I was about to, want to clear that up. Not out in the fields. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 1890. All right. So Magnum PP, where were you?
In what of
July,
1990?
summer of
July?
90. Mm-hmm.
I think I might have been back at the motherland by that for that was the first summer I think I was back at the motherland out of college.
Okay. Yes. that's a conversation too before we get into this pay-per-view. What's for me coming back
Oh boy.
home after being independent for essentially 3/4 of the year? That shit was hard.
Mm.
Like, and not in the sense that like my mom was like cracking down on me. I mean, she was, but it was just hard to like kind of even exist in that environment at that point in time, because even after a year, I was just like, the plots of me getting out of there was definitely already afoot for sure. Hutch, what was it like for you coming back home after I don't, whatever years you were in
Hell,
college in the summer?
it was hell. That's what it was. You can't, right. You
Yeah.
right. I'm like, damn, I'm up here sleeping in the same bed, with my feet hanging off the edge of the thing, maybe. Right. You right. You can't get up at, I mean, you can get up at any time you think you can get up anytime you want, but there's somebody yelling, wake up, you gotta go take out the garbage. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. Go shovel snow, go do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Hell.
it was a weird feeling going back, and I distinctly remember being there for like a couple of weeks. Like, yeah, I got to get it the fuck out of here. Like, this is I got to go.
It definitely did seem like sitting around and doing nothing wasn't as fun as it had used to been. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like I probably could have done absolutely nothing for the first 18 years, but then like after that, it was like I gotta go do something.
yeah, I got to go. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I don't want to be told what the hell to do.
yeah,
But,
there's that
but
too.
then again, I was in the army being told what the hell to do. But that's
That's
another
different.
story.
So
Yeah,
I have some research to share regarding
all
the
right,
history of the Great American Bash. So
gotcha.
86 was actually the 13 sites with the arenas and what have you. And
Okay,
Dusty won the title towards the end. I think he held it through the end. I don't think he dropped it before the end.
okay,
87 was 3 dates, and that was the War Games.
okay,
And
yeah.
so we're
All
3
right.
years after that. No.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, and most of those people outside of Ric Flair have rotated on. So we'll get to this night. Our watch along is going to be the main event, which is Sting, baby, and versus
Showtime.
the Nature Boy Ric Flair in the championship match. This is his first title shot post the knee injury where he tore his knee up trying to climb up a steel cage.
Doug
And he was,
Dillinger, son of a
yeah,
bitch.
yes.
Who did this? What? Who?
Okay, so Sting it was an angle against the Horseman or something like that, and he tore they said his patella tendon, but I always had heard it was his ACL. On the broadcast they said it was patella tendon, but he was trying to climb up the cage, and he hurt his knee for real, like in a real situation, not a fake injury, and he'd been out for like a year-ish, I guess, or so. He was supposed to win the title shortly there. After that point, he had gotten injured. So this is going to be, spoiler alert, the culmination of that, of him winning his first world championship.
Was that when they turned on him that he got hurt, or was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, he hurt his knee there, and then they worked an angle from it. Yeah. So yeah, the Stinger.
Resourceful.
Right. All right. So let's jump into this because that main event is a little long for the watch along portion. All right, y'all. Match number 1. Brian Pillman. It's an all RIP. There's going to be a theme here. An all RIP match. Brian Pillman RIP versus the Nature Boy Buddy Landell RIP. You said this when you first started to watch it. Like, having 2 people do the Nature Boy gimmick in the same federation makes no sense.
No, and I think I think they might have, like, if I remember correctly, they might have been running like a lightweight, like kind of an angle, and I'm assuming Flair just eventually kicked the shit out of him. But yeah, he, like, his hair, like his body's shit, but like he's totally working Ric Flair's gimmick, and it's ridiculous that he's in this match. And Brian Pillman is really good. They do overplay the Bengal stuff, but at the same time, like I was kind of hyped for that back in the day because Bengals, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
He was really good to have never kind of meaningfully gotten out of the mid card. Because even when he is like at best, he was kind of, I don't know, probably Jobber of the Stars or whatever tag team. But no, this was an opening match to the Great American Bash.
Yeah,
Damn,
if you go
dead in
to
2015 from a
yeah,
car accident.
yes, if you go to that Wikipedia page that Hutch is reading there, I'm gonna call bullshit too, because there was something in there that said because I remember when he first came out, Buddy Landale doing the Nature Boy gimmick, and I think this was pre us watching Mid Atlantic, like in one of those other bits in some territory, and that they had a feud. It was like one of those times like he was so good at being Ric Flair, I had to cheer for Ric Flair because he was like such a bad heel. Yeah, he was such a bad heel in doing his gimmick or whatever. And then if you read that wiki, it says at some point in time that Flair was supposed to drop the title to Buddy Landale. I'm like, bullshit. That would have never happened. I'm sorry. That was never going to happen. He was, oh yeah, Dusty told me he was going to put the belt on me. No, he never told you that. And if he did, he was drunk as shit. So yeah, no, that was never
there
going
it
to
is.
happen.
Landale was set to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from Flair in 1985. However,
Bullshit.
Landale had a falling out with management of Jim Crockett Promotions and left the company after dropping the National Heavyweight Championship to Dusty Rhodes on December 19th, 1985. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah,
Bullshit.
we got to get this belt off you so you can get it from Flair. And they took his belt and fired him from the company.
Yeah, it fired it. Yeah, no, hell no. My other notes, Pillman's great babyface. Landale's a good chicken shit heel too. Like, I mean, he just looks like shit, basically. Like his body looks kind of terrible. My note says he could stand to do some push-ups. More Bengals talk and the tights again. He didn't Boomer Esiason and did not get name checked in this one. Boomer was not having a watch party at his house in Cincinnati for this. But wait a second, hold up. Is Boomer still there? Hutch in July of 90?
This is a couple years after the Super Bowl. Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
He is? Okay.
Yeah, he don't get
91,
right. They
92
don't pick
yeah,
the
went to the
Houston.
Jets. Okay.
That shit don't happen to like 92.
Okay, my bad.
Maybe.
I did say though that they were laying in those shots though. Like, I mean, there was no bullshit hitting those chops and all that stuff, and those elbows and forearms. Those look real. And then let's see. So yeah, we get what's this? Says crowd is dead, but they do get hyped in some other parts. Pillman wins with the flying crossbody. Yeah, sorry. 9 minutes and 29 seconds. But hold on. This is part of the problem with these WCW pay-per-views. Some of the matches are way too long. 9 minutes and 29 seconds for this opener. That was, I mean, really for the most part at a snail's pace.
They must have been like trying to get the sound set up and like get all the cameras lined up right.
Some Dusty on the side, like keep it going.
They were probably trying to find the Iron Sheik is the real problem.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, it was coming too. Match number 2, y'all. Mike Rotundo versus the Iron Sheik, RIP, on the super recents. My note says this match is not good. Talk about somebody that need to do some sit-ups. Yeah,
his belly
for about 20 years.
His belly. No, I say, like, if you had the Iron Sheik versus Junkyard Dog in 1990, they couldn't even collar and elbow tie up, dude. The bellies would be like, "Nah, bro,
hey,
I'll be over here."
That's man, what a shot! That hurts.
Rotundo's still the captain. Is still doing Rotundo's in great shape here, by the way.
His gimmick is so stupid, but good lord, he's good.
Yes, he's so good.
I haven't he was never exciting or appealing to watch his matches, and this just never made sense. I liked him on the Varsity Club and US Express and all that. But just watching him now, God, he was so good. Like did we get a Mike Rotunda and Brad Armstrong match yet? Like the all wrestling no charisma, like championship.
I'm almost sure they did, right?
I think so.
Sure, yeah. Well, and I was gonna say, was Rotunda in the West Texas Outlaws or the Rednecks during the Nitro
I don't
era,
think so.
I don't think he was.
That was Barry Windham was.
Okay, yeah.
The Wyndhams and Kurt Hennig, and I don't remember who else.
Yeah, awful. Yeah, awful. Rotunda's still the captain. Sheik is now again Hutch.
Sir.
not listening to as many wrestling podcasts as we do. So the Iron Sheik signs this big money deal to come to the WCW at the time, completely out of shape, probably on the drugs as well. And he just like he's so bad at what he's doing, they just pay him to like stay home after a bit.
He's so blown up in this match.
Yeah, he's just you can hear him breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. My note says you can hear him breathing like so bad. He's like, like I mean, yeah, he could have definitely died in the ring.
So stopped booking him. He got paid. Then they forgot to cancel his contract, so he got paid again.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, that's why they went out of business.
Yeah, dead crowd. Blatant and the a fucking of the rules here, and a backslide wins the match for Rotunda at 6:46
too, as I recall correctly.
Yeah, he did. Yes, it was bad. Then we get a Harley Race promo. Okay, so I'm gonna preview this.
Harley Race.
Get to the
match.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm gonna preview. Wait till we talk about the match. Okay, so the NBA maybe about 30 years ago stopped doing the Legends game during All-Star Weekend because Norm Nixon tore like both of his knees up, like just trying to do a regular ass basketball move. Like it wasn't even like, oh, he was going to do something big. He just tore both his knees up, trying to cross over something. Okay, so wrestling should not have legend matches like the one that's going to come up here soon. It's embarrassing for everybody involved. I can't believe they put it out on pay-per-view, no less.
I disagree completely.
Oh my. Yeah,
that was a great match.
I swear to God, I can't throw anything through this thing. But we'll get to it.
Well, and the NBA Legends game ended in 1993. It looks like.
I said 30 years.
30 years. You're right. You're right on it. You're on top of it.
Yeah. All right. I'm good. All right. Match 3, y'all. Doug Furnace, the world's strongest man, not against death, R.I.P. versus Dutch Mantel.
That's a line step, sir.
Both of y'all are hot taking it on dead folks. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Versus Dutch Mantel, who's surprisingly alive. Like Dutch Mantel looked like he was 75 years old in 1990. Man, how the
Dutch
fuck is
Mantel
he still drawing breath?
Unpleasant to watch. This, I had a hard time. Like, does he shave his arms and he still has like a blanket on his back?
How do you fight a walking carpet, yo?
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
And sweaty and all that. Probably chewing tobacco while he's fighting. Are you kidding?
But I remember him back in the whatever wrestling we got at home back then, looking like that, but younger, more shape with the whip or whatever. That was kind of scary. But like now, he's just like fucking Tommy Rich. Like, how the fuck is Dutch Mantel on the third match of a pay-per-view card in 1990? Like, come on, man.
Look at match 6 through 12. They're just starting to rebuild the roster, and they got these.
Yeah, villains. I know. Yeah, I kind of liked him back in the day. He's got the white man Jerry curl on Doug Furnace.
Doug Furnace is great. I was watching this.
I agree.
I'm like, he can't be a worse promo than Lugar. Like, and he's 1,000 times better in the ring. And I know we have a modern day appreciation of Lugar, but he's no Doug Furnace.
No,
Doug Furnace could have been the U.S. champion.
Yeah, his leapfrog were looking good, like all that. He had the power. He had a lot of good stuff. Oh no, he's the world's strongest man. He appeared on the last pay-per-view in a promo. He didn't wrestle, and they were talking, essentially, Glacier is coming, but it was just Doug Furnace, and
that he was Glacier.
No, I'm saying saying that how they were previewing, like, he was going to be somebody that was coming soon. And it was fine. ZZ Top got a reference in there.
Yeah, because
during the match by Jim Ross. Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Furnace is great. I kind of knew of him, but I don't remember a single one of his matches. Mm-hmm. He was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't remember anything. They said he was in the Can-Am Connection. Or Can-Am
that would have
Express?
been latter day. That would, because they the fallout from Strike Force, and then they must rebuild it. That's like the new Midnight Express shit.
Ugh, awful. Yeah, I like great agility. The match was probably a little bit too long, and he wins with a belly to belly suplex
Oh,
at
yeah.
11 minutes, 18 seconds. Yeah, I was like, oh, new Magnum.
Yeah, he should have Luger's spot.
Come on, you're crushing Lugar. That's terrible. That's rough. He just got there.
Man, what all these
Yeah.
hot takes? I mean, yikes!
Yeah, he
The
just
fire
got
he's
there.
shooting out of his mouth. It's the 4th of
Cornette.
July, folks. Pow,
Cornette
pow.
Cornette comes out. What they're basically doing is having everybody come out, cut a promo on their match, but then also say, "I'm taking Sting" or "I'm taking Flair tonight,"
yeah.
like, which is kind of corny. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Isn't this
match-
kind of foreshadowing? I mean, like, don't we think we all kind of see how the main event's going to go
Yeah.
at this point? But
Yeah, for sure. Match number 4, y'all. Harley.
five.
The
Well, anyway,
yeah. Well, I got it as 4 for. I
yeah,
skipped
yeah, fair.
the dark match. Match number 4, Harley Race, R.I.P. versus unsurprisingly R.I.P. Tommy Rich.
Damn.
This is what I was talking about, Hutch. This is 1990. Tommy Rich won the belt, what, 77, 78? So you're saying
Yeah,
like
one
12,
of those
13, 13 years later that we're going to see a rematch of this? Magnum BB, Tommy Rich was in better shape at the previous pay-per-view.
No,
He ain't in as good
absolutely
shape
not.
now. Yeah, no, I will kick your ass. He was in much better shape at the previous
He's
pay-per-view,
lost like
'cause
20 pounds since the last time he was on here.
According to Jim Ross, he's lost like 40 pounds, I think, since whatever.
He was in better shape than we've seen him. And Harley Race. So this is Harley Race has come back to the WWF. He
Still
was
got
the
his
king. He was in a
tights,
program with Hogan. He like ripped his spleen out or whatever on a botched table spot, and now he's back. He's still got the belly. He's still Harley Race. I thought this was like they worked. It was a well worked match. A lot of big spots. It was 6 minutes long. Harley went over, the little bit of nostalgia. This was great. I had no issue with this match.
I cannot. Both of them dudes are moving in mud and molasses.
Oh, come
and they can't get around at all. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Did y'all watch the same match?
First off, we never, much like some other wrestlers that we talk about when Junkyard Dog coming up here, we never saw Harley Race's best. Time that he was however many times world champion, we never saw that. The versions that we saw, I'm see a pair of legs. Are you gonna see a pair of legs? Wasn't that Harley Race that he freaking pal drove or whatever?
See a pair of legs,
yeah. There, and then we saw like when he worked his program in the WWF with Hogan. And that's it. Like he's gonna become like a manager here soon. Like I think for Vader first, and then Luger, or Luger then Vader,
or
right. Something like that. Yeah, but like no NBA Legends games, man.
This match is perfectly fine.
Oh my god, cannot.
This was not well. This wasn't the worst match on the card.
Well, that's fair. Let's see. My note says 2 dinosaurs. Honestly, yeah. Crowd is dead. Crowd, it wasn't into this nostalgia match either. And I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. And Jim Ross called it an upset. Harley Race winning.
Oh, come on, Jim Ross.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. You can't let Tommy Rich get a taste. Tommy Rich can't get a taste.
Didn't he win? He's got to win since we've been watching this.
He has, but he can't get a taste over Harley Race. Freaking 13 years ago.
He was lucky Harley put him over one time, and then they're like, that was because everybody was on vacation, and when they came back, they're like, oh shit, that never happened. We got to undo this right now. They took that belt off of him in the dark, and he was never heard from again.
Yeah,
that's Tommy Rich's championship run. Harley put him over so he could be the 7-time champ. That is the only reason he got that title. And then when everybody came back from vacation, they're like, oh hell no. You need to go explain what you did, Tommy Rich. He had to go apologize for winning the championship.
I got a question from the whatever, the front row. So I mean, so was Harley Race able to just give away the belt when he felt like it?
When everyone's on vacation.
Yeah, no, he's not supposed to be making those decisions. The legitimate NWA championship board would make those decisions. And yeah, it's like a little loop-de-loop here where they got that belt on Tommy Rich and then got it off of him in 5 days, I believe.
Like in between TV tapings, he got it and lost it, and then had to explain. No video of the victory. I don't think, maybe. And he had to explain. It was like it was almost like a forced apology. They showed the interview
Oops, my bad. Nice. There's a backstage with Paulie and Marky. That's a mean Mark. Almost called him Marky Mark. I'm gonna say this right now. I never got Paulie. Like I never got the hype. I never understood it.
The psycho yuppie.
Loud and obnoxious. Like I just didn't get it. I mean, I know he's supposedly.
You must not know enough people from New York.
Yes. Apparently, I know he's supposed to be a wrestling savant genius. Yeah, but I don't get it. Never got it.
Just don't give him your money.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, ECW Bank. All right, match number 5, y'all. The Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, R.I.P., and Stan Lane, not the father of Lauren Berbert, versus the Southern Boys, Steve Armstrong and Tracy. Yeah, that's awful. And Tracy Smothers, R.I.P. Okay, so a tag team with Rebel Glory on their jackets and their tights. So I'm definitely cheering for the Midnights here. I cannot. From their announcement was from the heart of the South, and their baby faces, and we're in Baltimore, no less. Yeah. This is not working for me, brother.
Your text was like, "Yeah, I can't root for," because like I heard this is a really good match, and it was a good match. But like before I even started watching, you're like, "Yeah, I can't root for the Southern Boys." And then I watched them come out. I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess they do kind of have the old battle standard there prominently."
Yeah,
displayed,
exactly.
But...
They have that. They have the freaking the duster jackets, the hats of the Confederacy. I'm like,
I get the only thing they didn't like come out actually waving the flag.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming later. But fuck, they stole the Freebirds gimmick.
Well,
it's coming to that, I know, but still,
they might have beat it out of them, and I don't.
Yeah,
it
was coming. Hunch, you get a chance to see all of that, but yeah, there's two white fellas walking around there with Confederate bars and stars on their tights.
I have a feeling I've seen that before, and I've seen enough, so I got it.
Yeah, yes.
The longest match of the night.
Yes, yeah, it was too. Just a couple of notes. Bobby's working punches; they look so good. Cornette's the best manager of modern times. That's a quote from JR. Lane has a black belt. Stan Lane has a black belt in karate.
Did they do they did a martial arts exchange here?
Yeah, they did do a martial arts exchange. Yeah, it's kind of rewatching this. Stan Lane comes off so corny. No pun intended. Like he just comes off corny. Like when he's working and like he's doing that, but if he's doing anything besides actually wrestling, it just comes off as super hokey.
I think this is the match where JR called every single kick a Sabat kick, which none of them were Sabat kicks.
Yes, he did call them.
I've been led to believe from watching Larry Zbyszko that has like a turnaround kick to the gut. And these were effectively super kicks. And every time anyone's foot hit somebody, JR called it a Sabat kick.
Nice. Okay. Well, wrestling also had me thinking that Possible meant Russian was Russian for something. And it wasn't.
Tony, I was trying to figure out how to spell Jutoata to figure out what it actually means. But Spasibo I know is thank you, but I still don't know what Jutoata means.
Yeah, my college roommate was a Russian major, and I said something about Nikita, and he was like, "What the The fuck is wrong with you? No. Did you have a stroke?
He
So
probably
anyway,
looked at
yeah.
you
So
like you looked at the Southern Boys just then.
yeah, pretty much, yes. So yeah, I mean, it's a great tag team match outside of the tights and stuff. You know, lots of tag team spots all over the place. A couple of double pin spots. I have to say, both of them dudes, most especially Tracy Smothers was a hell of a wrestler. I had never seen Tracy Smothers wrestle before, and I listened to that podcast after he died and Cornette about lost his shit. Like, I can totally understand the wrestling part of it. Like, he's really, really good. They just stuck him with this shit gimmick, and they're gonna follow with Cornette,
Yeah.
right out of here into what, Smoky Mountain is his first one.
Did you see him in
OVW.
Smoky Mountain?
Tracy.
I can't remember which one they go to. Like,
He goes to
which
Smoky Mountain.
Smoky Mountain. Okay, yeah.
Tracy
I
Smothers.
Yeah, all the Armstrongs end up there because Bob Armstrong was like his commissioner. And I
okay.
think Steven Scott might have been there, and Brad eventually showed up. But
Yeah.
yeah, Tracy Smothers was one of the big baby faces there for a while. Him and the Dirty White Boy, who, that's another story. But.
Yeah. Shocking.
He kind of looks familiar.
Yeah. They get the heat on one of the Southern Boys with a Cornette distraction. So many cheers for the Midnight Express in Baltimore, because I guess Baltimore's a heel town, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And then they get all the Midnight moves in, like all the double team moves that you're used to seeing the Midnight Express get. Again, this is by far the better version of the teams with, instead of the one with Dennis Condrey. Get an Alabama Jam from Bobby, which looked awesome. And again, I can't believe that move on them rings. I can't believe he could even walk at some point in time, because that is just incredible. And then we get to the end there, and there's a spot where Stan Lane, kicks him in the back of the head as he goes to the rope. Bobby Small package 1, 2, 3 wins. It's kind of a cheat, move by a heel, but not really. A small package wins the match. It was at 24 minutes or something like that.
I got 18, but
18. Okay, yeah. I mean, it was a good match though. A really good tag match. I was, the right team won. That's all I'm saying.
the South
Yes.
didn't do it again.
No, well, Gordon Soley has a thing with the Freebirds in the back. Hutch, as you're looking at your Wikipedia, look up Freebirds Great American Bash 1990 for an image search, because we're gonna have to talk about this when the match comes up.
How'd you know I was looking at Wikipedia?
That's the easiest way to find it. All right, match number 6, y'all. It'll be very quick. It's the premiere of a Big Van Vader. The entrance much longer than the match, much longer, and then I guess he, the big thing is that his headgear could smoke. I wonder who's holding the remote for that. He is, tucks it in his tight.
I assumed it was maybe or somebody in the back, or it was just on a timer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he was really excited about it.
But he has he doesn't quite have the same mask yet. Like, he works a different mask after a while. So this is still the formative stages of Big Van Vader.
Yeah. And he's also not nearly as huge as he's going to get.
Yeah.
But
they brought in Tom Zink
why.
like he was somebody, and we see that experiment is now over because
it's also an all RIP match too. Everybody's dead there. Yeah, he did too. Yeah, I know. Then we get a Horseman promo, and everybody's afraid of El Gigante. I want the belt. I want the belt. This is one of the worst. Wait till we get to that fucking match.
What he the dude who wore the suit?
He wore like the slim, good body looking.
Yeah, the suit. Yeah,
Bigfoot suit.
Yeah.
I'd rather do push-ups.
I think he winds up going
was in
to
the
the
WWF though.
Yeah,
that was his gimmick in the WWF.
Yeah. And he was like a former basketball player. Yeah. They just couldn't do anything. You know what? I already stepped over the line once tonight. All right, match number 7.
You might as well take the whole. You might as well do the cross-body block and go all the way over.
All right, so match number 7, y'all. It's the Steiner Brothers versus the Freebirds. Okay, there's so many things we're doing this podcast. The Freebirds had naked pictures of somebody because these motherfuckers have been on every pay per view in a pretty decent spot. Now they haven't necessarily won, but they're in a decent spot and every single pay per view.
We've seen
That's
Michael
one.
Hayes beat Lex Luger since we started doing this.
Yes, that's bad. Yeah. Two, um, they've kind of modified their gimmick from being like a ripoff of really the Fabs to now being a glam rock old rockers, but trying to stay young. Like, how would you describe it, Magnum BB? Like, what the fuck is this look?
I mean, I think now they're trying to be like the Fabulous Ones or something. Like, this is ridiculous. They have sequin long pants with suspenders. They're both like getting fat, so it looks like they actually need the suspenders.
Yeah.
Now they've worked in these greased back ponytails and this like cat eye makeup and glitter.
And glitter. A lot of glitter.
I mean, there was a window where like the original version of Michael Hayes plus like the original Freebirds version of Michael Hayes plus Jimmy Garvin, I think was fine. That was a reasonable Freebirds team. But this is like they've just gotten worse and worse and worse since we've been watching them. And you're right, like it's hilarious that the things that get edited and the things that don't get edited, because there's some let's just say offensive chants throughout this. And we also get a preview of Rick Steiner's convention behavior. And it's I used to wonder when Michael Hayes went to the WWF and became Doc Hendricks why he just like seemingly disavowed the whole identity of Michael Hayes, and I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah, maybe the end of it was really, really bad because this is bad. And
it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like, so we're at the downside of like, you know, kind of glam, you know, hair rock or whatever. You know, we're 2 years from grunge,
but this isn't even that. This is like retread disco shit.
It's bad. Like it's really bad. How did you get a chance to see that picture of them?
There's a lot of shit on it. Yeah, I see it. It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad. And
then
like,
are they what in the hell?
Yeah,
this is a 14-minute match.
Yes, and that again, we wrestle here way too long, and and as brother Magnum PP alluded to, like, you know, the way all they do is stall. Now that's the fucking if they didn't stall for the fucking match, it wouldn't be 13 minutes long. They just roll out of the ring, they stall, they get in the corner, they stall. Like,
they got
of
stall
actual
on 7.
wrestling. Yeah, the actual wrestling of it is probably only like 5 minutes, but it's just bad. A very terrible chant there that they didn't bleep out for whatever reason. I'm like, why in the world is this happening? Then Michael Hayes is a bitch also got through the censors as well, and like, I don't know. And
you remember when Jimmy Garvin was a great mid-card heel who was like never in any main feuds, had a sweet-ass brain buster and a hot valet.
Yeah.
And then they set his brother on fire and he became a babyface.
Yeah.
Kicked the shit out of everybody. And now here we are.
And here we are. Hutch, they're calling him Jimmy Jam Garvin. I think I know somebody that should sue.
Yeah. And who knows? He might have. He might have got an extra $1 or $2.
Yes. They've become a comedy tag team. They are a comedy tag team. Because I can't, as we move forward in this, I don't know how much longer they're going to be there. I can't imagine them winning a match.
I was going to say, I haven't looked at the next pay-per-view yet, but I'm kind of praying they're not on it.
Yeah, they couldn't beat the Rock and Roll Express, and if the Rock and Roll Express can't beat nobody at this point in time. So, yeah, about that. No, sorry. Yeah, Steiners are great. We all know that. The clotheslines, the heavy hitting. Rick Steiner's Rick Steiner's so good at this point in time. Scott, you could tell he's still young, but he's just
How
waiting for the
over is the
Frankensteiner.
Frankensteiner? I know,
Yeah, man.
you're just sitting
Everybody's
there
waiting.
like, who's gonna take it?
Yeah, the announcers are waiting for it too. They're like, "Yeah, come on, it's Frankensteiner." Yeah, it's great. What were you saying, Hutch?
I was gonna say, wasn't Dusty still booking, quote unquote?
Dusty's not back.
Yeah,
Oh,
He's
Dusty's
still in the
still
WWF.
Dusty is most recently trying to figure out where Sapphire, well, how Sapphire sold out
oh,
to Uncle
he's in
to,
WWF.
yeah, to
That's
the $1 Million Man.
yes, that's Miss Sapphire to you, by the
Oh,
way.
Sweet
Oh yeah,
Sapphire.
Sweet Sapphire. Oh yeah, you missed the last pay-per-view, Hutch,
Sweet
where
Sapphire Jam, I think his
yeah,
name.
yeah, where
Oh,
Sapphire went
who's
missing.
booking me? And you think at this time?
This is Jim Hurd, who's
Her
going to
loyalties were purchased by the $1 Million white man
yes, exactly. Yeah, you missed some
at the most recent
yeah,
pay-per-view.
yeah, you missed some classic oh God, welfare queen.
Commentary.
No, it was some welfare queen
Oh,
visuals there for sure.
I missed nothing. Yes,
Yes, for
sir.
sure. Uh so yeah, he gets on Rick. They get the Steiner lines. I mean, it's just the classic Steiner match at this point. The Freebirds lose. They're supposed to. Steiner line, then a belly to it was a belly to belly after the Steiner line. They switched to people in the ring, looked like the Freebirds were going to win. Then there's a belly to belly, and then the other, I think Scott pinned Michael Hayes 1-2-3. Steiners win as they should. There we go. Match number 8, y'all. The dudes with attitudes.
Who
Yeah.
am I?
Somehow
like,
they did not.
Yeah, they recycled that name in 3 months, right? Like
Yes.
I'm not losing my mind, right? This
Well,
used to
no, it
be
was. Yeah.
this used to be the team that they chanted "Dude suck dick" to.
No,
Right?
no. That was the dynamic. No, that was
Oh,
the
okay. You're
dynamic
right.
dudes.
You're right. All
Yeah,
right.
that was the
Okay. Thank
dynamic
you.
dudes.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
Dudes
Got
with
it.
attitudes gets
Okay.
recycled like 20 years later when
These
it's Steve
dudes apparently
Austin.
don't suck dick. I got it.
Yeah, no, not yet. It's an all RIP on the babyface side, y'all. The dudes with attitudes, Paul Orndorff, RIP, Junkyard Dog, RIP, and Elegante, RIP, versus 3 of the 4 horsemen, Sid Vicious, Arn Anderson, and Barry Windham. I got a lot of side topics because this is not really a match. And also, this is what Elegante did the entire match. You have to be on YouTube. Oh! That's pretty much all he did the entire match. Didn't do any
The worst
wrestling
part,
move. I think
like
he pushed somebody once.
the worst part was Elegante was way over. Like the fans could not
Yeah.
wait to see him do something. But
Right.
like even if somebody got in the corner, he would like rear back to punch him, but he would hold up. It's not like he would
Yes,
swing.
and then
Oh
they
my
would
God.
scoot back. Yeah.
It's not like he would swing through and miss.
Right.
He would just like hold up and then make faces.
Yes.
And when he got in the ring, you're right. He was just like flailing around
Yes.
and got to hold somebody. And they're like, oh, I think I was supposed to go over the top. So
Yeah.
I'll be
Fake
over
powder.
here.
Yeah,
That was the worst part. Is like he was so over and everybody wanted to see him do something. And he apparently was unable to do anything.
So I want to, because this match is terrible, -4 stars. There's nothing that really happens in it. So I got a couple of just like talking points or whatever, and I'll kind of get your thoughts about it. I was a huge Paul Orndorff fan, like huge. I liked him better as a heel. When they made him babyface, it just always seemed unnatural. Great body, alleged tough guy. Allegedly, he took Vader out in some backstage incident at some point in time while he was in WCW. So, yeah, that's great. So the Junkyard Dogs, his Dark Side of the Ring came on last night. I watched it this afternoon. Yes. Okay. So my note says, much like Harley Race, we did not see the best of the Junkyard Dog. Like, not even close. So if he was in Mid-South, we were in the
Diapers?
Midwest. We were in the no, this was in like in the early 80s. We're just not seeing it because of regional, territories. I kind of had heard of the Junkyard Dog and maybe I'd seen him, and like I think at some point in time he was using George Clinton's music to come to the ring. Like I kind of remember that, but the rest of it, nah, I don't remember anything really. And so I'm watching this thing today, and I'm like, well, this idea that like he was the first, like black, superstar that was kind of pushed to the top of the card, by Bill Watts in the Mid-South territory. I'm like, wow, that's a really good story. And that's kind of surprising or whatever that Bill Watts, took such a chance on him, because when we do see him in the WWF, it's like, what the fuck is this? It was all gimmick. Like, I mean, he was never a title contender or anything like that. He was just like the black dude that was on the show.
I think did he get a shot at the Intercontinental with Macho Man or something? A little bit? Something?
Maybe.
He might have wrestled for it, but he didn't have a shot at it.
Right. Well,
he was Hogan's friend, and he had an action
he was
figure.
Hogan's friend. Yeah,
he was a gimmick.
He made the cartoon.
He was a gimmick. You're right. Yeah.
I tell you,
in all my quote unquote black history of wrestlers that I knew of the 80s and early 90s or whatever, when I didn't remember seeing him when he was not until the WWF. I never heard of him until the WWF.
Right. And on that, and you'll see it there in a little bit, and I'll throw it back to you in a second, Magnum BB. You'll see it in a little bit. Like, they talked to Teddy Long, but they talked to Coco Beware, who was like also the black gimmick, when in the WWF too. It's like
Tony
that. You had 2 black dudes. Yeah, Tony Atlas, the feet gimmick.
they talked about it.
Which they did talk about, yes. Yes. Don't look the videos up again, Hush. Don't do it again.
Once is enough.
Yeah. So go ahead, Magnum BB. I'm sorry I cut you off from before.
I was gonna say, like, my dad, who, if enough people weren't around, probably racist as fuck. He loved Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
But he probably loved the gimmick. So
yeah, he just loved the gimmick. Yes, he has a hard head. That's every black wrestler. And I'm like looking at the on the videos, they're like, oh, like his big move, he get on the ground like a dog and he would headbutt people.
You said we didn't see like the best of him, but I'm pretty sure we saw his entire repertoire in this match still.
That's fair.
Which was soup bone, headbutt, crawling headbutt, maybe clothesline, and power slam. The thumper. That was the extent of it. So
okay. Anybody want to pull their? I mean, you can look it up or whatever. What was his wrestling?
I looked it up.
3-2. Come on.
3.
Yeah, he's a 3.
He's a 3-2.
3-2.
Probably specialty on 10.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, probably, he wasn't winning though. Yeah.
Tag team on 11. Probably C in reverse, nowhere to be found. Ropes probably awful. Maybe one pin attempt on his specialty.
Yeah, head with chain was on probably.
Yeah. He might have had a good double X. That'd be about it.
Right. He'd be good in bunkhouse matches or something.
God.
Wow.
We just
it's
buried him.
Y'all got me doing this.
If
That's
y'all
horrible.
knew how we just buried
I'm
him
leaving.
just by like running down his stats.
Right. Running down the brother.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, man. And again, he falls prey to, the excesses of the 80s or whatever. Like, it's, I'm here for a good time, not a long time situation. Like, that's not surprising. He dies in a car accident. Not surprising. Drugs probably as a part of that equation. Not surprising. I don't think there's any part about that. I think it's probably more surprising that he was able to draw as a black superstar. It shouldn't be that surprising in the South because black people love wrestling, like especially in the South. They love wrestling. So to have somebody to cheer for like that, that was pushed relevantly, like that would make sense. And then it said in the documentary or whatever that like, oh, after he left, Bill Watts was just rolling any other black dude out there or whatever. Like, oh yeah, here's fucking
Bunkhouse
Buckwheat
Brown.
Johnson.
And,
Yeah, like, here, whatever. And they, everybody was trying to do, great value junkyard dog, and it didn't work, shockingly, But I mean, as his gimmick was and what he could do and his appearance and whatever, like, he was never going to get any version of a title in the WWF.
he was ripped in Mid-South. He was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was good. Great shape. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like you can't. It wasn't just that it wasn't just that he was the Black Star that was pushed by Bill Watts. Like, obviously his charisma came through and resonated with the crowd and the angles they did with him. I mean, that would have been amazing to see. I don't think they ever put a belt on him. Did he have the North American title? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he was just, the babyface that didn't need the belt.
How about that story they told about some words that were spoken in the bathroom? That sounded completely credible.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Allegedly, we'll say. First off, Bill Watts is alive. That's fucking shocking. Upset,
that is surprising.
Yeah, him and Baron von Raschke both living and breathing there.
Baron von Raschke put the claw on Ethan Page in the last 2 years.
Lord,
he was at the AEW pay-per-view right in front row, and that was when the Jim Cornette stand-in dude, I don't remember his name.
They
had a big 5-way, some bullshit, and Baron von Raschke slapped the claw on Ethan Page.
He's probably just older than he looked back in the day. All right, we'll get through that.
He was probably like 22 when we saw him. He looked like he was 70. Old. And now he's 70. He looks like he's 75.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
Yeah,
we saw him when he was 60, and that was 40 years ago.
Well, when you sleep in a coffin or hang yourself in a cave from your feet, you age differently.
Yeah.
The boys of Brazil, cloning.
The dudes with attitudes win over the Horsemen. At my note says Team RIP wins.
It was Paul Orndorff working against Arn Anderson and occasionally Barry Windham.
Yes.
Sid Vicious being a joke. And then you have the Goldilocks story of Paul Orndorff Junkyard Dog Elegante. One worked just right, and then one worked not at all.
Yeah,
one worked even less than that. I guess it's not exactly, but
it's close enough. All right, match 9, y'all. It's Mean Mark, which is the Undertaker, by the way, Hutch, versus Lex Luger for the U.S. title. Paulie Suck Chance. What's his name? Jim Ross said that Paulie is the Andrew Dice Clay of wrestling, and I was just like, By the way, just FYI, Andrew Dice Clay sucked.
I liked him in the early stuff, and I liked him in Entourage. It was that
I ain't watched that either.
Horrible middle that was whatever.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
He was good in MASH.
I swear to God. So yeah, whatever. So it's a typical big man match. Luger, again, as we've been saying, a much better wrestler than we ever gave him credit for. And even in a big man match like this, he knows how to sell. He knows how to work this match. And again, he's like 4 years in the business at this point in time. I did like this though, that they're kayfabing like all the time. This was in the Cornette match too, where he's like, you can hear the boom mics are picking up, if you watch it with the captions, it's picking up everything that they're saying. And it's like how he's talking to the people in the crowd and like staying in character, for the entire time. And Paul Lee, for that matter, too.
Oh, yeah.
And which just doesn't exist now.
He's on the phone at some point, yelling at somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Maury. This is it, it's not working. Yeah. It's completely he did not break kayfabe, which is great. And then because this happened, was it last week on AEW, where John Moxley gets caught on the hard cam, talking to the person that he's supposed to be beating up, literally telling him what they're going to do next, and it just looks terrible. And now as I'm
we're gonna go spread some rumors about CM Punk. Got it. Yeah,
exactly. As I'm watching these matches now, it's so obvious when you can see them calling spots. It's so obvious now. I'm surprised the mics don't pick it up too here, or they muted them out. But it's oh my God, it's so obvious. So you could do things it still be obvious of what you're doing, but it doesn't have to. It can still be kayfabed, and like it's bad. It's just really bad. Like when they do it that way. But this is a pretty decent match. I didn't hate this at all. You know, Lugar was very good. Mean Marcus is his last match out of here. Our next pay-per-view for WWF, he's going to be the Undertaker, Hutch.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a turn.
Yeah, I mean his career completely flipped. Okay, Magnum BB, Lex Luger Hogan's up in this match.
Luger got him in the rack. I popped. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, he hit him up in the rack.
Yeah, he got him up. Oh, 319 pounds. But
that's
yeah, Hogan.
Blue chipper versus a Luger. Blue chipper.
Yep. He gives him a big old suplex, and Luger just pops right up. I'm like, oh shit, what is this? And then he clotheslines the shit out of him, and then there's a spot where he gets hit with the phone, and then there's all the shenanigans at the end of the match. But Luger wins 12 minutes, 10 seconds. Bye-bye, Mean Mark, never to be seen again in the WCW. All right. Next up, y'all, match number 10 with the greatest tag team of all time,
Woo!
the Rock and Roll Express.
Legion of Doom?
Yeah, exactly. Versus Doom, Hacksaw, Butch Reed, and Ron Simmons. Whatever. Rock and Roll is for the World Tag Team titles. Doom has a time championship. And they were playing it up big time. Like, oh, you know, the first night that they came in, they beat the Russians, and now they're the 5-time champions. Can it happen again? It didn't. Oh. It's basically it. This was almost our watch along, but we just watched the Rock and Roll Express match.
Saved you.
Not that much long ago.
Listener,
against the Freebirds, wasn't it? Didn't they wrestle the Freebirds last in a strap match?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a strap match.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I remember. Look, y'all, it's okay. How do I say this? It makes no goddamn sense that the Rock and Roll Express should be in a match with Doom.
Mm-mm.
It's visually
kayfabe.
It's visually impossible to figure this out. I'm sorry. They're too big. Like, Doom's too big. Like, we can't have them having a match with the Steiners that I think was on the previous pay-per-view, and then have a competitive match against these two dudes that might weigh 350 pounds between the two of them. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, it shouldn't. They had a competitive match. Like, I saw Butch Reed get body slammed by Robert Gibson. The fuck out of here, man. Come on, son.
Did you get hyped up for that?
Fuck, I was mad. I'm like, how the fuck is Robert Gibson body slamming Butch Reed? That's not supposed to happen, man. I'm sorry.
It could happen.
No, it can't. Not without a lot of cooperation. They did drop this knowledge in there, too. They were like, oh, the reason that Robert Gibson is doing sign language, he comes from a deaf and hard of hearing family. Like, where the fuck did that come from? When I joined the fan club, they didn't say. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
You joined.
That wasn't in the newsletter.
I did not join. No,
you joined.
I did not. So yeah, I mean, it's a classic Rock and Roll Express match. They come out, they take some bumps.
Rammer Yammer, Wabba Damma, Rocky Roll is King, all that bullshit.
It. Yeah, and then they come out. Yeah,
that's the worst part about these is they've edited out all the entrance music.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just comes out to generic shit. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
I wanted to hear Tommy Rich's music when he came.
I swear to God. Yeah, so whatchamacallit comes out. Ricky's gonna sell. Robert's gonna come in with a hot tag. His punches look like shit. His drop kicks look like shit. It's just all bad. And you know, the Rock and Roll Express lose 15 minutes and 40 seconds. There's no surprises.
That's a good long match.
But it's too long, Hutch. Look at them two dudes in your profile. How the hell are they losing or having a competitive match against those two
lightweights?
Adolescents.
Well, they were 30-something by then, weren't they?
I don't know, but seriously though, like okay, so when they come in and beat the Russians,
both of these dudes are in looking anyway at least 260, 270, and juicing perhaps. Who knows?
And then Yeah, I mean, come on, man. It just doesn't make any sense.
Hey,
Like that's why you never had a Rock and Roll Express versus the Road Warriors match because it wouldn't have made any sense, right?
it would have not looked as whatever. But
It would have looked just as bad as this.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
When they beat the Russians or whatever, when they beat the Russians and they won the tag team titles, they pinned Ivan.
Right.
Okay? That was his job, was to get pinned.
Right.
Who the fuck you pinning between these two?
Yeah. Because you can work with Ivan, right?
Yeah.
Was it Crusher or Nikita? Must have been Crusher at the other one, right?
Yeah, it was Crusher. I think it was when they won it the first time. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. Ivan was getting pinned.
Yeah.
You know, Nikita wasn't getting pinned by Ricky or Robert. Like both of these two dudes are too strong. I mean, you could have a match with them where they get a little bit of offense, but you still crush them in like 7 minutes, but not like a 15-minute match. I'm sorry.
It'd be one thing if you could establish that, like, the old tag team teamwork of the Rock and Roll Express is so much better, but you know, the Steiners and Doom they've been established as like really good also tag teams, so that you can't even run with that.
No, it's my note in here said this is a dead gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Like black versus white? Gimmick. Never.
No, never. But the Rock and Roll, that thing is a dead gimmick.
They should have had the Southern Boys against Doom.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that would have been the end for me, especially on who won. That would have been the end. Oof. Man, I'd have been going to Hot Topics to get my Doom t-shirt. All right, y'all. So it's the main event. It's Ric Flair and Sting. So if you go to your Peacock, it's 15 minutes. Or no, sorry, 2 hours and I sent you the
2:27:30 is what you told me.
2:27:30. Yes, that gets them both in the ring. Something. Yeah, 2:27:30, where they're both in the ring. Sting has come to the ring in his All-American gear, where he's got his face painted red, white, and blue.
To be fair,
it's fine. Oh, jeez, what? Yeah, America got copyrights. So, like, yeah, that's where we are. So they're like, you know, kind of in the ring. Now they have tied. Yeah. Well, they handcuffed Elegante to Ole Anderson so he cannot interfere. And then they have the baby faces as what was those matches called?
They're Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks, yes, essentially
all
Lumberjacks
the people around the ring.
Except they're all on the same side. There's
there's
not heel and babyface Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
All the dynamic dudes with attitudes are outside.
Yes, and the Steiners.
They're part of the dynamic dudes with attitudes.
Shut up.
Every one of Sting's friends at this point is the dynamic
dude with attitude. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you go ahead and get to your Peacock again, you're going to 2 hours and 27 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'm trying to run StreamYard at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to run StreamYard, and WWE's copyright is on lock. So, all right. So here we go. On the 3, 2, 1 count. 3, 2, 1. Shouldn't get a commercial. Yeah. Poor
Elegante with his glitter vest.
Yeah, he's awful. This is terrible. It's the big gold belt, y'all. Flair's days are somewhat numbered here as well.
Really is the best championship belt of all time.
Absolutely. This is peak Flair too, by the way. Like this is peak. Like he's at the crescendo. Oh. Stop hitting me, damn it. Woo! Oh yeah, the competing woos. Yeah, again, this is 1990, so I'm not really watching wrestling. You know, Sting was my boy though. So watching this now, like it's like, okay, like I kind of get it. Like I can see why I like him as a baby. Like, I was never a heel dude. Y'all was more heel people. I was into the baby faces.
We know,
especially Hutch.
Hutch was big, baby. Hutch was big into the heels.
I heart heels.
I don't. I didn't. I think I have more of a modern day heel following, but I used to just, if I was rooting for a heel, it was just to fuck with somebody who liked whoever they were against. So
like
Understood.
Mr. Rock and Roll Express over here.
exactly, and my dad.
Yeah. Oh, press slam. The rollout. Nah,
Sting
he can't
is
come
really
out.
good. Like he doesn't have a
Yeah.
huge move set, but he is really good considering how,
Yeah.
like, if you think about, this was the Ultimate Warrior's partner. So they've been
Yes.
in the, so he and the Ultimate Warrior have been in the wrestling business for the exact same amount of time. Obviously,
Right.
Ultimate Warrior is world champion, but it's just purely on spectacle. And he is absolute shit.
Right.
And Sting is really good.
And what they tell you or what you hear is that they're like, oh, Sting was so willing to learn.
Yeah.
Like he was able, he was wanting to get better, whereas that never happened. That's a great clotheslines. But
Yeah.
he was
And you have to
really
believe they
wanting
like
to learn.
recognize, like, yeah, this guy's obviously a talent, obviously going to make money, and respects the business and wants to learn. This is
Right.
somebody we want to work with and make money
Right.
with.
Totally the opposite of the Ultimate Warrior.
And bad shit happens, and he is the world champ for
Yeah.
a minute.
I want to shake the ropes. I want to just have the most gibberish filled promo you've ever heard in your life.
Right.
I want to
Don't do
run
the eye. It
around the
doesn't matter
ring.
how big you are.
Yep.
Look at him sell it. Selling
Yeah.
like Ricky Morton right now.
Nice. And then Flair's so good.
Flair,
I feel like he
Flair's
might be
all
going
in.
to school now.
Yes.
Flair is
One of
all
my favorite
in.
Flair moves. It's one of my favorite Flair moves. The knee, like to the head, like
I
after
think
that.
that might be the only thing he's never missed or been reversed on. But
Yeah. Yeah. His verticals are also awesome too. He ain't getting him up here though. No, he did. Nice. Yeah, Flair's verticals are awesome. Oh, dead.
Never mind. Those are weak clotheslines. I don't ever Sting's clotheslines. I don't think ever stood out. I will say
no. And I would say, and that he literally is somebody that he's the J-Lo of freaking wrestling. He does a lot of things, but it's all kind of mediocre-ish. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh well, his drop kicks are like so awesome. No, not really. Like, well, his clothesline.
Well, I mean, there was his
Scorpion Deathlock looked good.
Yeah, but
the death drop is probably his death drop was probably
the Stinger splash, and I would say his drop kicks because of his leaping, like his standing drop kicks and the Stinger splash, because of his leaping ability at his size, I think were always impressive.
Yeah.
Even his press slam, I don't think was impressive as Lugar, because Lugar was jacked and it was credible.
Yeah.
But like when he was mixing in the high flying moves at his size, I think that was his strength.
Yeah.
And the Stinger splash was great.
Oh, the splash is great. And again, Flair recognized like who he was at that time. Like he understood, like this dude's going to be a superstar. Like he's like, I will help.
But Flair sold everybody, or damn near everybody. I mean, that was the power of Flair. Flair was the perfect dance partner.
Well, but it's who did he put over, right? Because he never put Lugar over.
No, he never put Lugar
and again, it's something that we kind of keep coming back to on here. Wrestling works at its best when there are heels, clearly defined heels and baby faces. And the job of the heel is to put the baby face over at some point in time. Make them, shine them up, make them look good, cheat, give them a comeback, and then go to the finish. Like, this is all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Flair was the best at that because he made all those baby faces. He made us, or at least me, think that Ricky Morton was going to be world goddamn champion.
I thought George South had a chance.
Like, I mean, honestly, like he made it like you believe that he was going to lose to these people, and he rarely did.
Mm-hmm.
But he made it look like it was going to happen. And I think that's something that's completely lost in modern wrestling because everybody's just trying to get their shit in. And nobody really wants to be booed. Nobody really wants to be booed. And that's the
And for some reason, when I think of the baby face or the line got really crossed or whatever, I think of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, them and the NWO. Yeah, that did
I
it.
mean, right. It was cool to be a heel,
I'm
and
wearing
you
the
rooted
shirt.
for him, even though you knew they were doing bad shit.
So if you're out on the ramp and you throw him over the top rope back into the ring, is that a disqualification?
Nah, it's a technicality.
Yeah, it's all right. No DQ.
He's working on the leg, guys. I think he's going to try to get him in the figure 4.
If you remember, he's been out for a better part of a year with a serious knee injury.
Yes, and I'm sure it's. Oh, look at those punches.
Not good.
You can hear that spot called. No, he got too happy there. And now, woo!
All the
the butt to the knee.
Right across that bottom rope.
Wow.
He came down with all 242 pounds, the world champion. Jim Ross. Jim Ross treating this like an actual sporting event is
it
great.
gives it legitimacy.
Real check.
It gives it legitimacy though. For sure. It makes it feel real.
Mike Tyson already lost the belt? Let's see, man.
Oh, my butt.
Broke his butt.
Why is he limping though?
He's selling the butt.
Snap there.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay.
I think you just said you jinxed it. He never missed.
Now
Nice.
Sting is Flair.
The crowd is hyped, but you can see the air of people starting to look towards the back too, which is everything that happens now. Everybody, you look at Jim Ross calling it there. He's again, this kayfabe. They're not gonna break out of that. And again, that's not a thing that you could do in modern wrestling because of the internet or whatever. It's just not possible. But golly, man, you definitely don't need to hear about post game press conferences for worked or matches is the dumbest shit I have ever heard of. I'm sorry, that makes no sense.
And particularly when there's some people treat it with kayfabe, some people are just glorifying themselves.
Yes,
Sting sold the throw into rail.
Yeah, it's bad.
Sting must have C on 6, 7, 8.
He don't.
But his card when we would have had that, it was probably only a 2-2 because he was so young at the time. There's no way he was a 3.
I think he was a 3, and
he would have been. He was a tag team with Eddie Gilbert with Rick Steiner. Yeah. He might have been. Would they have made him a 2-3 or he would have been?
He might have been a 3-3.
He'd have been a 3-2, I think.
No, that's 86. There's no way. 87. No.
He was what? He's 6'4". What? How tall is he?
I don't know. That sounds right, but that don't matter.
He was. I mean, I remember him getting
arguing the count. That's why you just got hit in the knee.
Yeah. One of my notes on here was too when Lugar beat Mean Mark was fast count Fred. There was a super quick count. When he won. I'm hey, look at this. By the way, from everything that we know about Ole Anderson, he had to hate this shit.
Oh yeah.
But I think he was also partly booking or doing something at this time because him and Jim Herd.
So he books the Black Scorpion, which is coming here shortly.
Yeah.
I think when Flair leaves, I don't know if it was Flair. Who is booking right now? Is this Flair?
Maybe. Yeah, because Cornette's still there. I think that is Flair.
I think Flair's booking, and then I think Ole's about to take over.
Yeah, once the Herd comes in full time here, you can start counting days for Flair.
Shockmaster is here soon.
Oz.
Oh,
Yeah. This is great. Oh man, that looked real. Yeah, that looked like that hurt. Yeah, Paul Orndorff as a babyface, not great.
Well,
Just
early in his career, well, we first started watching WWF. He was babyface,
well, again,
Yeah,
that was
and then he flipped
Well,
for
he was
that
Hogan's boy, and
Rock
then he turned on him,
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, let's go down the list of people that were Hogan's boys and then turned on him. That was every
Everybody.
WWF. That was every WWF angle while Hogan was a champ, damn near. I mean, it was just fucking Hogan sucked.
Yeah, it was either that or here's Heenan's new monster.
Yep. And fuck Hulk Hogan. And Jake Roberts. Look at those kids in the aisle. They are hype. And that was the other thing too. Like as Cornette brought it up, like you don't see kids at wrestling matches no more. It's just all neckbeards.
Neckbeard.
Yep. Look at that. I mean, it's just like cop hitting me, damn it.
We're about to get
You want to get out the ring? That'll help.
some Flair begging for forgiveness.
Press slam. It takes hella strength. I can barely do that shit with my cat. So, a hose line. One.
You gotta hook the leg on the champion.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, good God. I'm talking inches. Almost.
Yeah, that's one other my complaint about modern wrestling. Like enough with all the two falls, man. There's Flair's move. Like everybody kicking out of everything. Like that shit drives me
Flair's dead.
Dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, all of Flair's matches look alike. And everybody's all happy about it too.
Yeah.
Fuck, everybody's seen all of these moves with everybody else, but people want to see it. He's giving you everything.
You still believe that he's going to lose, and then he doesn't.
Right, and he doesn't. Right, exactly. It's like enough, man. All those matches look alike. Come on. The funny thing is, he would show up and wrestle now if they would allow him to. Splash.
If there was a...
Yep, the flop. He's no way he taps him though to win the title. No way.
No way.
No, it's going to be...
No, not Elegante. There's got to be a horseman run in at some point here.
Yeah.
I have not watched this. Yeah, look, everybody's looking to the
for real? You haven't watched this?
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry, Wyndham, in hella shape.
They run in
Barry
and dynamic dudes with attitudes, fight him off.
Yeah, Sid sucks.
Probably
God,
Sid still just stands around, not sure exactly what to do.
But if he doesn't move, he does do this if you're on YouTube. Yeah. Drop to knee, and exalt self.
Yeah. Particularly Baltimore. Baltimore has an unhealthy relationship with Sid Vicious.
Yeah. Nice punch. Big right hand. Some big old ham hocks. Nope.
Damn.
Oh, feet on the ropes. Oh, come on.
Scott, that's interference.
That's interference. You should be sent out of ringside. Mullet. Oh, yeah. 1, 2. Oh, yeah. They just can't beat the champ like that.
They're pretty close, though.
Yeah. Oh, this is a classic Flair's thing. The bridge. Again, I know this is fake. That shit ain't easy.
That was the measure, right? How far into the match did they get the bridge?
Yeah. 1, 2.
1, 2. Inches. We're talking inches from a new champion of the world.
Please no.
Flair's begging.
Great. Oh no! Wait, what? The camera cut away too.
Now we go to
Now.
school.
Oh,
Woo!
small
What?
package. That's it.
What?
1, 2, 3. Oh my God! Oh my God! Sting wins.
So I think
Who
the
would have
real Sting
predicted it?
died when he jumped in the corner, and then they replaced him with fake Sting.
Oh,
Finish the match.
conspiracy theory.
They're like, "Oh, you broke one leg and then you died in the ring. We got to go get a new
Nice.
Sting."
Oh, it's the Paul is dead theory.
Yeah.
Look at that lady celebrating there. She is excited. Yes.
Hey, she
I
paid
mean,
real money to see this, or
and
hooked.
she is really
Why'd you put
excited. Like,
Hogan's
and
card
again,
up?
No worries, I'm just checking.
God,
But yeah.
Thunder Slam.
fucking asshole. Fuck
Look at that.
Hogan.
Look at that card. Fuck him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you hyped up.
Yeah, we don't need to ever see that ever again, motherfucker. Yeah, again, this is a classic win the championship thing from this era. Like, people didn't lose matches on finishers.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
Flair
didn't
was
lose.
getting backslid
Yes.
or small
Yeah, monkey
package
flip.
or another.
Yeah.
I think even Dusty pinned him with a small package, and
Yeah.
Dusty and small package doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
it
it
doesn't
makes
really.
sense
Yeah,
together.
those jumbo
Yeah.
shrimp.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you listen
Yeah.
to this post match interview, but he does nothing but put Flair over.
Yeah.
He's the greatest
I mean,
champion of all time.
again, from hearing and seeing this, okay, so we all like, oh, this shit is fake. Oh, before you went out to the ring, you knew you was gonna win. But when these dudes win, I mean, I don't want to bring up the name of that dude that murdered his whole ass family. Like, his emotional reaction to winning the belt when he won it was like
Mhm.
the realest thing ever. Because again, I know you're going to win it. It's going to be that, but it is still the culmination of whatever at that particular time.
Yeah,
So it has
yeah,
to mean
and it's not
something.
just like I don't know if he's going to put me over. Like Hogan will say that kind of bullshit. I didn't know Brother Thunder was going to put me over. That's all bullshit. Yeah, but like
Yeah, they are.
it's yeah.
Yeah, it's the culmination
The
of
working
the
out,
highest.
the getting slammed on the
Yeah.
ground or slammed on that
Correct.
mat.
Yeah, and
and
especially
working every night. That shit
right,
is
and
that shit is real.
again, I'm sure there were times where, I mean, people called Sting, that we can stop this at some point, that people called Sting the shits, that he was terrible, that he was this, that, and that. Like, the fact that he's gone from, you know, our mid 80s to the champion here, in 5+ or so years. I mean, that has to be something. So, like, I get the part that they are like super emotional about it, as if they had just won a damn Super Bowl. Like, I get that part, but but yeah, this, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
really, in this
he's
case,
great.
it's somebody who has been, essentially the greatest wrestler in this franchise for 15 plus years, has in a sense given you the greatest possible compliment.
Right.
So you deserve to have what I have, what I have drawn money with and made this promotion on for however long. I mean, that's that in a sense, it's you've just been given the greatest compliment you can get. That's what it is. Yep. And I would expect to a certain degree that, like, if you're going to win tonight, like, you go out with the feeling of like, all right, I want to earn that. I want to put on a performance. I want to look back and say that was a good match to lead to that result, regardless of whether it was preordained or not.
Yeah, I don't want him to think that this was a mistake. You got the company or whatever. And again, this is an era where, if you're the champion, you better be drawing money, because if you're not drawing any money, whatever the fuck. Not like he just put the belt on anybody and we're still getting money regardless of, who sold tickets or didn't. So, all right. Well, that concludes the Great American Bash 1990. As we do always, we go back to the look ahead. So we have to look ahead to our next. We'll go with the WCW pay-per-view, which would be Halloween Havoc, which they previewed on here. So these podcasts are kind of quarterly-ish. So we're getting into October of 1990. What does that card look like?
I have to get on another device because
StreamYard. Okay, I might be able to beat you to it because mine's actually working okay at this point.
Halloween
So
Havoc
1990.
1990.
The number.
Sound of a Funker brother.
Yes.
Wrestling hitting you hard because you
Uh,
know you got soul.
Brothers and sisters. All right, I got it.
Alright.
Matches. All right, I got it.
Oh
Two dark
boy.
matches. Yeah, 2 dark matches. White Lightning Tim Horner defeated Barry Horowitz, and Rip Rogers defeated Reno. Okay, nobody cares. Okay, break. All right, match number 3. Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton. So that would be the York Foundation.
I wonder. I wonder if they're actually the. I think
that's
this
right.
is still. They haven't converted to that yet. I think
because
this
it's not Thomas Rich or Rich
right,
and Richard
and
Morton.
Richard Morton.
Dude, look at the time of that match. 21 minutes.
No way.
Terry Taylor is back. Defeated Wild Bill Irwin. 11 minutes.
the loudest in-ring performer of all time.
Yes, Brad Armstrong and J.W. Storm, whoever that is.
Oof.
The Master Blasters, Blade and Steel.
That's
and the Southern Boys.
No, Blade and Steel is one of them is Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. And they defeat the Southern Boys.
Beat the Southern Boys.
Here they are again, the fabulous fucking Freebirds. With Little Richard Marley defeating the Renegade Warriors. So you can only okay, got it. So the Freebirds can only defeat Indians.
Midgets.
Got it. All right, the Steiners. Yep, the Steiners defeat the Nasty Boys. Oh fuck, I hate the Nasty Boys.
Yes,
God Almighty, do I hate the Nasty Boys?
I think that's kind of a legendary match for how stiff it is, though.
Oh yeah, maybe. Junkyard Dog defeats Moondog Rex. Ron Simmons defeat Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Somebody turned babyface. I'm sure it wasn't the Blacks. Match 9 or 10 or 11. Sorry, Stan Hansen defeats Lex Luger, and he wins the U.S. Championship. Wow.
Usually I don't give away the results when I.
Oh, sorry. And then Sting, the champion, against Sid Vicious. Ugh. That's ugh.
I think we're going to be watching that Stan Hansen Lex Luger match.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Because I don't think I can watch Sid Vicious for 12 minutes.
Oh, you want to get crazy? What's the next pay-per-view for the WWF, which is actually what we have to watch?
We
just finished. Well, it's the next one.
Did we do SummerSlam?
I think it is SummerSlam.
Oh, shit. You know what? It's a Survivor Series.
Oh, 1990?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I think we did preview that where all the terrible ones were there. Like the teams were all.
The thing that I'm interested in is they do a this one has a twist. Wild card, bitches, because they take each of the survivors and then they have a final match. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
And there's a surprising name in that last match.
Yes, that's right. I remember what you were saying. That's our next one.
We won't be surprised at the fate of that individual, but we should be surprised that he's in that match.
Womp womp. Yeah. Yeah. No comment.
Terry Taylor was a booker with Kevin Sullivan?
Well, in the Nitro days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I think he's Sting and Sting. Is that the picture you have up right now?
That is Sting and Sting, yeah.
And I think he still works at in WWF, I think, maybe, as a backstage hand of some sort, Terry Taylor. So noted horn dog as well. All right, y'all. So that'll wrap up the Great American Bash 1990, baby. So my cat's attacking me. All right, so we're ready to find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, StreamYard. Fuck you. It's the last month I'm dealing with you. For real. Damn. I'm done. It's ridiculous. It's like it looks good on certain things, but it's just terrible for other parts. I just can't deal with it anymore. So as a producer, I'm signing off. Magnum BB, sign off.
All right. Bash out.
Bash out. Sting and Sting sign off, man. Don't you gotta watch one of these pay-per-views at some point, huh?
King of Pain.
Yeah.
Always be King of Pain. Yes,
Nice.
sir.
All right. We'll see you guys on a different streaming platform. Peace, everybody.
Peace.